Kyle Richards explains why she's ready for home change. Is Kyle Richards saying goodbye to the town that raised her? No, at least not yet. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member hinted at the home move in a recent interview with Briefing on Bravo, explaining how social media has fueled her desire to leave Los Angeles. Kyle told the outlet about the harmful online messages directed at her and her loved ones, including her children and close friend Teddy Mellencamp, who is in the midst of a stage 4 cancer battle. Kyle Richards has been telling her friends she's going off the grid. Social media is just such a scary place, she said. It's so toxic, it's so negative, I can't stand it. I've been telling my friends lately, that's it, I'm moving to a farm. I am going off the grid. I'm going to live off the land. I don't want to go on any social media. Kyle admitted she sometimes approaches social media with a lighthearted attitude, as she simply wants to share fun moments of her life. However, she quickly gets turned off when she sees negative and toxic reactions to her posts. I think about the young children and teens, how it affects their mental health, she continued. It's scary, social media. It's very unhealthy. I know there can be a lot of good things. A lot of people make money on social media, and when we have something positive to share or we can bring awareness, it is great. But there's a very dark side to it that is very upsetting to me as a mom and as a human being. Kyle Richards reveals where she sees herself in 10 years. Kyle has repeatedly expressed her longing for a quieter life outside of the Los Angeles area. She addressed the subject in an October 2024 interview with Briefing on Bravo, when she was asked where she envisioned herself in the next 10 years. Surrounded by a lot of dogs, she told the magazine, I probably wouldn't be living in LA full-time. I'd be in the mountains where there's more nature and not so much chaos. Kyle Richards admits her love for LA isn't the same. She made similar comments in rhobh Season 13, Episode 11, January 10, 2024, which documented a cast trip to Ojai, California. Kyle insisted LA will always hold a special place in her heart, but living in a smaller city was becoming more and more appealing. When I hear places like this, I think this is how I want to live, just like this, she said about the Ojai getaway. Quiet, away from everybody. I will always have a love for Los Angeles, but I just don't feel as connected to it as I used to. The things that make me happy are being outside, running by the river, hiking with my dog. Kyle Richards explains why she's ready for a home change. The late afternoon sun cast golden rays over the Pacific Palisades as Kyle Richards sat on the wraparound porch of her home, sipping tea from her favorite rhobh mug. The same mug had made countless cameos in her Instagram stories, but today, her phone sat face down on the table next to her. For the first time in weeks, Kyle was unplugged. No notifications, no scrolling, no comparing. Just the chirping of birds and the distant hum of traffic. Los Angeles had always been home, the town that raised her, the town that made her, from child actress to reality star, to mother, to entrepreneur. Kyle Richards' entire world had been steeped in the glitz and glamour of LA, but now, for the first time in her life, she was truly considering walking away. And not just from the city. Social media is just toxic. It all started subtly, like a slow burn she couldn't ignore. The comments, the trolls, the constant nitpicking of her every move. A simple picture with her dog would ignite accusations about her marriage. A supportive post about Teddy Mellencamp's cancer journey would be met with callous remarks about their friendship being fake or strategic. I can take a lot, Kyle had said during her interview with Briefing on Bravo, her voice steady but tired. But when people go after my kids, my friends, especially someone fighting stage 4 cancer, that crosses a line. She recalled a particularly cruel comment directed at Teddy's appearance during chemotherapy. Kyle had stayed up that night, pacing the hallway, her heart aching. She didn't want to call Teddy and burden her, but she did, and they cried together on the phone. That's the night I told her, Kyle remembered. I think I'm done. I can't keep doing this. And I meant it. Off the grid and into the light. Over brunch at Soho House with Erica Jane and Doric Kemsley, Kyle had joked about moving to a farm. But even as they laughed over avocado toast and chia smoothies, something in her tone was different. No, I mean it, she insisted. I've been telling everyone. I want to go off the grid, grow my own vegetables, be with my dogs, run in the woods. Okay, Laura Ingalls Wilder, Doric quipped with a smirk. Are you going to wear bonnets too? They laughed again, but Erica's eyes lingered on Kyle's face a second longer than usual. She could tell her friend wasn't entirely joking. In fact, Kyle had already been looking at properties, places in Ojai, Idlewild, even Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Quiet, earthy, serene. No cameras, no paparazzi, no hashtags. I love Leh, I do, she admitted to her daughters. But it doesn't feel like home anymore. Not in the way it used to. The love-hate relationship with Los Angeles. For decades, Kyle's life was intertwined with the heartbeat of Los Angeles. Childhood auditions on Melrose, date nights in Beverly Hills, birthday dinners in Malibu. Every major memory was linked to this city. And yet, as she stood in her backyard one night, looking out at the glittering skyline, it felt more foreign than ever. I used to see magic, she said to her sister Kathy during a family dinner. Now, I just see noise. The two sisters had weathered many storms, on screen and off, but lately their conversations had taken on a quieter, more reflective tone. There's no shame in change, Kathy had said gently. If you're ready for something new, go for it. And Kyle was starting to believe she might be. Ojai, a glimpse into the future. Her cast trip to Ojai, documented in RHOBA Season 13, had been more than just a weekend escape. It had been a revelation. The golden hills, the gentle breeze, the silence, real, healing silence, had settled something deep in her chest. She'd gone for a jog along the river, just her and her dog Storm, and for the first time in what felt like years, she hadn't thought about filters, likes, or trending hashtags. I could live like this, she whispered into the wind that morning, and she meant it. Later that evening, while sipping wine on a wooden deck beneath a sky dusted with stars, she turned to Garcelle and Crystal. I don't think I want to go back, she said. Like ever? Crystal asked, half laughing. Kyle took another sip. Maybe not ever, but definitely not full-time. The pull of nature and the weight of fame. Kyle wasn't delusional. She knew she couldn't vanish entirely. Not when the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was still part of her life. Not when fans still approached her in grocery stores. Not when her name trended with every reunion episode. But there was a growing part of her that didn't want to be seen. Not by the world, not in high heels and designer gowns, not through the lens of a ring light. She wanted to be seen by herself. To be the version of Kyle that didn't always have to smile through pain. To be the mom who wasn't shielding her kids from headlines. To be the friend who didn't have to defend her circle. To simply be. Dogs, dirt, and a dream. So where did Kyle Richards see herself in 10 years? Surrounded by dogs, she told Briefing on Bravo, laughing. In the mountains, probably. Somewhere with trees, rivers, less chaos. Her publicist had gently tried to spin it, saying Kyle was exploring new projects and considering a bi-coastal lifestyle. But Kyle knew what she wanted. She didn't need spin. She just needed space. And as each RHOBH episode aired, revealing more of her shifting mindset, fans began to see the breadcrumbs she'd been dropping. The longing glances at wide-open spaces. The way her shoulders relaxed in Ojai. The quiet grief in her voice when she said, I just don't feel as connected to LA as I used to. Saying goodbye, sort of. I'm not disappearing, she clarified in a later podcast appearance. But I'm evolving. My heart is somewhere else now, and I want to follow it. Some fans panicked. Was she leaving the show? Moving away from her family? Selling her home? The truth, as always with Kyle, was layered. She wasn't packing boxes just yet, but she was preparing her soul for a shift. We think of home as a place, she mused to her daughter Alexia during a late-night chat. But sometimes it's a feeling, and I'm chasing that feeling now. Teddy's strength and a friendship that anchors her. Through it all, Teddy Mellencamp remained one of her greatest anchors. Watching her friend fight stage 4 melanoma with courage and grace had profoundly shifted Kyle's priorities. Life is short, Teddy had said during one of their walks. So damn short. If you want that farm life, go get it. And Kyle knew she was right. Teddy's bravery was a mirror, reflecting back everything Kyle wanted to be: fearless, grounded, authentic. So when Kyle looked at properties nestled in the Colorado wilderness or flirted with the idea of a lavender farm in Oregon, it wasn't just about escaping the noise. It was about stepping into the quiet and finding out who she really was without it. The road ahead. So what's next for Kyle Richards? More dogs, more hikes, less scrolling. Maybe a guest house in the hills with no Wi-Fi. Maybe a garden full of tomatoes and mint. Maybe evenings reading under a blanket with only the moon for company. Maybe even love, real, soft, no spotlight love.